right. As we say here in Hawaii, aloha, and good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everybody. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, and I'm joining you from the World Tourism Network here in Honolulu. We're broadcasting this in cooperation with the Travel News Group, eTurbo News, Hawaii News Online, Meetings.travel, Aviation. We're on YouTube, on Facebook, on various channels, the African Tourism Board, and so forth. To all of you, welcome aboard. This is a session from the World Tourism Network. And those of you who don't know the World Tourism Network yet, the World Tourism Network was started in 2020 in response to the COVID-19 discussion. We had on the sideline of a canceled ITB in Berlin. This was back in March of 2020. And initial team got together and we formed our rebuilding.travel discussion. And then in December of 2020, the World Tourism Network was formed as an independent organization, currently with members in a little bit more, not a little bit, exactly 128 countries, and we have a little bit more than 1,000 members. For those of you that wanted to become a member, it's very easy. It's also not expensive. It starts from just $50 a year. And you can do this just go to worldtourismnetwork.com or to wtn.travel and click on join. Now, without further delay, again, welcome everybody from Honolulu. And we're going to go pretty much across the world today. We're going where it is already tomorrow for us, because here in Honolulu, it's only Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. And we're going to go to a place where it's already 12 noon on Wednesday, and that is Dhaka, Bangladesh. I've been to Bangladesh one time on a trip from Bhutan. I was there for 3 days. I stayed at the hotel, and it's a really interesting country, different from anything else I've ever seen. And so I'm very excited. We have a very active chapter in Bangladesh under the leadership of Mr. Hakim Ali, who also is put a panel together, what he will introduce. And I hope he's here because it looks like he may have some issues. No, I think he's here. So Hakim, I give the floor to you and you can take it from here. So we're going to have a panel, a discussion, and then we open it up for questions and comments at the end of this event. I just wanted, before we get started, I don't want to forget, we have another event this week, what is, I think, quite interesting. It's from the Ukraine. We're going to talk about the current situation of tourism. We call it Tourism in Impossible Times. And we're going to be joined by our chapter in Kiev, in Ukraine. And that is on Friday at 8 a.m. Hawaii time, what is 1 p.m. Eastern time in the United States, or 6 p.m. London, 7 in Europe, 8 p.m. in Eastern Europe or Kenya, or at 9:30 p.m. in Dubai, and so forth. So hope you will join us now, will join us on Friday as well. And but without further delay, let's go to Hakim. He worked very hard to put this all together, and I'm going to put him in the spotlight here. Welcome, Hakim. Your microphone is muted. Would you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, thank you very much to give us to give Bangladesh a chance to be in the world map. And you know, the Bangladesh, we are trying our very best to how we can promote the tourism. And we are very much thankful, and we have seen your progressive work that you have done with Africa, you know. So anything can be done for Bangladesh on that basis. So I will ask my Secretary General, Mr. Kadir, to give a more briefing. Please, Mr. Kadir, carry on.
Okay,
Thank you very much. This is Kadir here from Bangladesh. And today what we want to do is that Bangladesh is definitely, as per Mr. Jurgen's voice, that Bangladesh is a destination which has its own charm. It's a different destination than other places. People usually think that India, Bangladesh is almost same, but actually not. uh, because the people over here are more friendlier and very much hospitable. Bangladesh is a small country of 144 square kilometer, but at the same time, it has different aspects. And through Bangladesh, the two of the mighty rivers of the world, one is the Ganges and the Brahmaputra. They merge into Bangladesh, get married here, and flow into the Bay of Bengal. So Bay of Bengal, is a very prominent name, and this country has a population of 160 million officially. It may be a little bit more also, and we have some of the very exciting places. Number one, we should say you that we have the largest mangrove forest in the world, which is called Sundarbans, and which is also recognized by as World Heritage. Uh, well, this forest is also shared with India. The smaller portion is in India, and the larger portion is in Bangladesh. And this has drawn attention of many travelers who are into adventure and eco type of travel. So this is a very attractive place for the travelers. And then we have the hill tracts. Bangladesh is primarily is a delta, so there is not much of there is no mountain, of course, but there are small hills which are in the Chittagong area, which is called Chittagong Hill Tracts. And there are 3 districts with more than 28 to 30 tribes. These tribal lives are also very attractive for the Western travelers who visit Bangladesh. And there is one lake which is called the Kaptai Lake, which is a man-made and is the largest in Asia. And Bangladesh, the development is on, and today Bangladesh is no more a poor country. The GDP is almost almost more than $2,000 per capita, which is also very encouraging. It has taken Bangladesh. Bangladesh has moved ahead of India in this aspect, and there are a lot of things happening in Bangladesh because the rural life in Bangladesh is also very attractive and interesting. And you must have known about this Grameen Bank, which has played a pivotal role in promoting Bangladesh economy, and the rural economy is also very encouraging here. And needless to say that you know very well about the garments industry, which is supplying to the world most of the clothes. So that is one development part, and simultaneously government is taking steps to build roads, railways, bridges. Um, so there are a lot of development happening in Bangladesh, which can attract the travelers around the world. And definitely the cuisine is also a very encouraging one. And we have our own cuisine. Bengalis are known for fish mainly. They go for fish eating, and simultaneously there are other items also. So in food growth also, Bangladesh has kept its promises, and they are number 4, number 3 in different aspects like meat production, fish production, and vegetables. So it is day by day Bangladesh is getting to a height which is really remarkable. But the sad part is Bangladesh is not much known about as a tourist destination. It is still to explore and to discover. Not too many tourists are coming, but I should say there's a saying that what Bengal thinks today, India thinks tomorrow. Similarly, I should say that what Bangladesh thought yesterday, world is thinking today. That is the domestic market, the domestic tourism. The Bangladesh, the domestic tourism has rise to a very greater height, and there is almost 20 million tourists in the domestic market alone. So the number could rise further, and and we also have one of the largest beach in the world, which is treated as one of the longest beach in respect to you can drive along the beach for 120 kilometers. This is also, and a marine drive has been created, which is very attractive for the travelers to visit Bangladesh. And this beach is called Cox's Bazaar. And so simultaneously, you can see there are the big rivers, because it's a delta. There are big rivers, there is beaches, and the forest, which is also one of the largest in the world. And we have some of the world heritages, which is the Buddhist heritage, because Buddhism was once a very flourishing religion in this part of the world. And we have many Buddhist sites, plenty of them. And one of them is in the list of world heritage, which is called Paharpur. And and then we also have other heritages relating to, like which is called the Nokshikatha, that is also listed in the world heritage. Then our one of the festivals, we do the Bengali festival, which is called the Pohela Boishakh, which usually falls on the 14th of April every year. And there are big happenings during this time. There are carnivals, which is also now taken as a world heritage. So we have quite a number of heritages. And also, because Bangladesh is now a Muslim country from the 1400 on, the Islam invaded into Bangladesh, and so now this is the majority is a Muslim country. So there are a lot of Islamic heritages too. And one of the Islamic heritage, which is called Bagherhat 60 Dome Mosque, this area is also under the list of World Heritage. So these are the three main World Heritage, and then simultaneously there are few more. So Bangladesh is definitely a place which can be visited, and through our experience over the years, what we have seen, that before coming to Bangladesh, people are coming here with question marks, what they are going to see, what they are going to enjoy, what they how they will get the destination known. But when they return, they go with the smiling faces, because and they comment like this, that, oh, I spent very little time in Bangladesh, I should be here for few more days.
Okay, Mr. Kader, thank you very much for your deliberate. Now our advisor, Mr. Kabir, Tourism Board ex-chairman and a Portugal chairman, he's here. Let him come on the screen now, please. Mr. Kabir, our advisor.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm late because I was in a different meeting at the same time. I think it is all just, actually, I just joined later on, so I didn't have the discussion flavor. So I need to know, actually, what is
we were just describing Bangladesh, and Mr. Kader, our Secretary General, just gave a presentation on Bangladesh. Now you can add on this, that's all.
That's great, that's great. Thank you very much, WTN, especially the chairman of the WTN Bangladesh chapter, to organize this sort of meeting. At first, we just have to know what is the role of WTN and the chapter of Bangladesh, WTN chapter of Bangladesh. You know, we have to promote our country very significantly and very actively, and we are meaning the business. So tourism, during this pandemic time, it is very difficult, not only for Bangladesh, each and every country they are traveling, they're facing the difficulties, the hard time. So in this pandemic situation, what would be the action plan or clear pathway to place Bangladesh, put Bangladesh on the global map for the tourist? So this is our just urgent urge to the WTN global leaders, and of course the travel guru, those are just planning to promote the countries in different areas. Especially, I heard the WTN are trying hard to put on just bring back the African tourism on the global map. So just considering that experience and that process of action, what would be appropriate for Bangladesh? That is my just a very urgent request to the WTN to do something for Bangladesh. Thank you very much.
So Chairman, we can go back to you now. You can carry on. And you have heard about Bangladesh and all. We will come to question and answers later on. Chairman, back to you, please. Yeah, Mr. Juring Chairman, you can carry on now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me put myself in and add to this list here. So just one second.
No, you can carry on.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you very much for the presentations. It was quite insightful. And yes, Mr. Kabir, we're here to assist and work with you. We can maybe have a private session also with Mr. Alain Saint-Ange, who handles our international government affairs now, one of our VPs. And he is from Africa. He's from Seychelles and also very much involved in our activities with African tourism and so forth. The potential of Bangladesh, I think, without doubt, is there. It looks like it's a changed country from the time I visited in the 80s, and a lot is going on. I also see the CNN spots from Bangladesh about investment opportunities and so forth. Maybe you can maybe you can share a little bit what Bangladesh is known, of course, for the textile industry, but what is why would Bangladesh look for investors, and what is Bangladesh offering for international investors at this time?
Yeah, Mr. Kabir, carry on.
Yes. Sorry, just I missed some point because could you please just repeat again?
Oh yeah, no, I'm wondering, we had been talking about
the investment, because our government has developed a lot of export processing zone, you know, and they are giving land and many other facilities. Kabir can give more details. Please carry on.
Yeah, and of course, tourism is part of it, I would assume, but also in general, there seems to be enormous potential in Bangladesh these days.
Yes, you know, our government has planned to establish 100 special economic zone in the different part of the country. So that would be the 1 point, one window service center. Everything will be from the 1 point, so just permission and doing business would be very easy just after establishing this special economic zone. Already, we just experienced 3 to 5 economic zone, and they are already just not fully, partially operating. So this is a great opportunity, and you know, our country is a labor intensive, a very expert, skilled labor, but wages is lower than the other countries. That is our comparative advantage, our labor, and of course the expertise, especially the skilled labor, and the other things are cheaper than the comparing to the different countries. That's why we are just inviting the investors. This is, you know, our target, the political leader, they have a vision to just reach Bangladesh on 2030, 2041 as a developed country. So to reach the goal, we are just trying to do every possible things, what would be realistic for Bangladesh, our government, such inviting international investor to Bangladesh. And by this time, you already heard that there's a direct shipping lines established from the deep European countries to our Chittagong port for garment exporters. We're exporting the used RNG to the global world, especially the European market and North American market. So that is the great opportunity for Bangladesh. And of course, there's some business relation with the Russian government, with Russia and the Indian and Chinese are covered also, so the country of China. So there is a lot of the business travelers are traveling in Bangladesh. So that is also a great chance to enhance our tourism sector and improve. By this time, already improved our property market, especially the hotel. A lot of chain holders are coming in Bangladesh, and the experts are coming, and they are doing the travel and tourism business in Bangladesh, and investment is also coming, but it's not to the up to the mark. So in this case, if you just promote our tourism, we can invite more people to come in Bangladesh and invest more. And if you consider the service sector, still service sector has a lot of opportunity to invest here. So that is our request to you, how we can just enhance this opportunity and catch the market, and just grab this opportunity to bring international investor and business in Bangladesh. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe before we open, there's a lot of questions on the chat box I see already, and we give the opportunity always to ask questions live. Before we get to this, maybe just some basics for those that are joining us and wanted to know on how to get to Bangladesh specifically now. Is Bangladesh open with the COVID situation? What are your target markets now in the medium future and after COVID when it comes to tourism? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Kabir.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just another business. Could you please repeat again?
No, I'm just wondering, just so those that are joining us and are in the travel and tourism industry, we have a lot of also travel agents and tour operators that are joining us. In order to get to Bangladesh these days, the main question is, we have COVID. Is Bangladesh open for tourism? If it's not fully open, what are your plans to reopen it? And what are your target markets now? And what is your wish list of target markets after we get a better handle on COVID?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Mr. Kadir, you can respond because you are from the private sector. That would be nice, Mr. Kadir, or anybody else.
Mr. Kadir.
Yeah, please unmute yourself, Mr. Kadir.
Yes, I unmute myself. Well, thank you very much for this question. It is definitely we are in a turmoil time, and government hasn't yet given the clear-cut directions of tourist visa, but business visa is on. Business travelers are coming in. They are doing business in Bangladesh, but we are waiting for the government to give us the green signal for the tourist visa. Though some tourists are coming, but maybe as a business traveler. This is the current scenario, and we are asking government to make the declaration very soon so that we can tell the world that yes, Bangladesh is open. Number two, the domestic market is fully open, and there are plenty of travelers moving around into Bangladesh, different destinations. And simultaneously, I should say that what is in our mind that as soon as Bangladesh is allowed to open, our first target is to reach out to the regional market, which is very important, because after the COVID, we are not very assured about the long haul market, what is going to happen. Though we see that Europe is also opening up, different destinations are opening up, different destinations are offering their products to international market, but as because of the COVID, post-COVID, our first target is to reach out into the regional market that we have thought so far.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe we can go a little bit to the audience that are attending us here. I know we're also getting questions here on Facebook and others. It's a little bit difficult to get to this. We might be able to do that later.
Now, excuse me, before you go in, we would like to hear from you. What have you done for Africa? And can you get some light on this? Because you have done a great job. Anything can be done for Bangladesh also similar to it?
It's not only Africa is a little bit of a specialty case because the initial idea of the organization, one of our initial partners was the African Tourism Board. I also co-founded back in 2018 before COVID. And when it came into the COVID situation, we started a project together with Dr. Taleb Rifai, who is our patron for the African Tourism Board. And he's also a co-chair for this organization, the World Tourism Network, and we called it Project Hope. So our discussion was also around COVID, and this Project Hope later on was merged with our Rebuilding.Travel. What we've done in Africa under the umbrella of the African Tourism Board is we're in the process of putting a network of tourism ambassadors together from various countries. In Africa, you have more than 50 independent countries that are all wanted to promote tourism. And the goal for the African Tourism Board we work under is to bring these countries together. So that is a public-private initiative. It includes current ministers of tourism, former ministers of tourism, but more important, it includes also the private industry. Our goal for the World Tourism Network, and that's probably the same in Africa, is to give a voice also to some of the private businesses that sometimes don't have a very strong voice. These are the medium and small size businesses that are very important in the travel and tourism industry. So we have been concentrating on this and then work with organizations like WTTC and others to communicate with the larger companies in the world and see how we fit this together. But World Tourism Network is a young organization. I think we have a good emerging team, including you, Hakim, in Bangladesh. We just recently assigned Alain St. Ange as our go-in-between man between the public and private sector. And we have partnered with a lot of events, upcoming event and recent events, various festivals, specifically in Africa. We're partnering with a number of initiatives. We have a voice in the United Nations Business in Africa investment forums. Actually, Dr. Walter Memzebi, who is our chair for the Africa section of the World Tourism Network, spoke at the Business Africa event from the UN just 2 or 3 days ago. And we've presented a way forward for Africa. And all of this can easily be translated beyond Africa. So our organization is based in the United States. It's right here in Hawaii. But as I said, we have members in 128 countries. Currently, chapters are available in Malaysia, in Africa, in Saudi Arabia, and of course in Bangladesh under the leadership of Hakim Ali. And there are emerging other regional initiatives like in the Balkan region, in Germany, in Jamaica, in Barbados. So we're a growing organization. And I think really when it comes to the business aspect, the best is for us maybe to put a private task group together who can sit down with you in Bangladesh and do some brainstorming. That's what we're currently doing with Indonesia, and it seems to be quite successful. We have some exciting announcement coming up when it comes to working with the Indonesian reopening of COVID and events, and with the G20 upcoming in Bali. So there's a lot going on. It probably, we have a lot on our plate, and our organization is only as good as our members are good. Just keep in mind, whatever we're doing, we're privately funded, mostly through membership fees and some sponsors. One of them is my own company, eTurbo News, what of course gives us an arm to the world when it comes to communication. But we don't have major government funding at this time. So anything we do is on a smaller scale when it comes to funding, but we're hoping that with the change of the world and now a trend in reopening, and that there are hopefully also opportunities for this organization to grow in the same way. Would that summarize a little bit what you were asking, Hakim?
No, thank you very much. So I will ask our advisor, do you like to add anything on this before we go to the question? Mr. Kabir, do you like to add anything? You have anything?
No, I think it's okay. I think other members are waiting to ask some question and they have their own opinion. So it is better to give them floor.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have a lot of questions here in the chat box already. So I would ask anyone who had a question if you wanted to verbalize it yourself. If not, of course we can read it, but it's always better to see a face, I think. It makes it more personal. And if you have a question immediately, you can just simply raise your hand. There is a button under reactions. If you click on reactions, and it's raising the hand, and I can see this here, and we can give you the floor. By the way, thank you to Dimitri, who's supporting us here right now from the technical part. And also real quick, special recognition to Professor Snezana in Serbia. She has been on almost every event, and she runs our educational interest group for the World Tourism Network. Thanks for participating, and feel free to jump in. Now, when it comes to, there is a hand raised by Pamela. And Pamela, as I said, I know her. She's right here in Hawaii. She's with Sun Island, Hawaii. What is a DFP here in Honolulu? Go ahead, you raised your hand and you had a question. And you have to unmute yourself, Pamela.
I'm trying to give me a minute. Greetings and aloha, everyone. It's a pleasure and I'm humbly honored. I unmuted for a while. I muted myself so that I can sit back and listen to everything that you hear. Even though Sun Islands Hawaii sells Hawaii and only Hawaii, I'm very much intricately involved in other organizations with internationally with with various tourism organizations on a B2B level. So what I proffer to you as far as revamping your tourism is that in particular with Bangladesh, because even though it isn't a part of my tourism past, what little is known is that I have a PhD in theology. And because of that, I very seriously stress that you put a committee together. If I can work with the educational department of World Tourism Network, I stress that you tap your hidden resource, your hidden gem in Bangladesh. I actually went to Bangladesh back in the 90s, and you, along with India, represent for the world more authentic religious, educational, and architectural tourism, and on a religious and a theological level. There is a resource for that. I know for a fact that with Jerusalem right now in certain areas of the Middle East not totally open, if you guys can get to a place where your government will allow that tourism, you will be bringing in those educational groups. You will be bringing in those archaeologists. You will be able to show the most beautiful part of the religious architecture, the landscaping, the ecotourism. And this is what people do crave and they do spend money on. I can tell you that. And a lot of the big destinations are still affected by COVID so that it doesn't happen. If you open and, and do a campaign that way, I guarantee your government, your country will reap the rewards.
Thank you, Pamela. Maybe you should join the Bangladesh team.
Most welcome, most welcome, most welcome. Most welcome.
All right, I don't know if there's a comment on this, and if there isn't, just if there is, jump in. If not, let's go to Donald Hawkins. He's joining us and raising his hand. Hi, Donald. How are you? Maybe let everyone know where you're from, and I know you, but many others may not directly know who you are. Please unmute yourself. There we go. Donald, we cannot hear you. If you unmute yourself, please.
Unmute. Still not.
There we are.
Here we go.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, carry on.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all for your comments. We're very interested in Bangladesh. I'm formerly with George Washington University, and I'm on the board of advisors of the UN World Tourism Organization. But more importantly, I'm chairman of Solimar International, and we have just begun a project funded by USAID in Bangladesh. In fact, our president and CEO, Chris Seek, has just returned from Bangladesh, and I believe he's met with some of the people on the call here. Solimar can be described as an international development firm focusing on using tourism, as a means to achieve other ends, whether it's economic development, environmental protection, climate adaptation, or many other worthwhile objectives in countries. And we have worked previously in Bangladesh, and we're looking forward to starting this project, which will be a 3-year project, and hope to be in touch with many of you there in Bangladesh, as well as others in the call who are interested in collaborating together. We put a lot of emphasis on strategic marketing and also investment promotion in the places we work. And at the same time, we see tourism as not only a benefit, to the tourist himself. The travel activity produces economic benefits for countries, but we really feel it's extremely important that tourism benefits local people, so that the direct benefits trickle down right into the community level. And I'm hearing that at this stage you're focusing a great deal on the domestic market. Actually, when I started in tourism almost 52 years ago, the United States basically was a domestic market. About 92% of our travelers were domestic. Now we're beginning to move back into the domestic market as a result of COVID. But I think it's a good base to start with your people who understand the culture, and they're able to respond to local conditions. And then gradually the experience you have with the domestic market can be expanded into selected international markets, as you pointed out earlier, maybe starting with the very viable regional market that you have in that area. So I just want to make a few comments there. We're very interested in beginning our work collaboratively with Bangladesh, and hope to be in touch with all of you in the future. And thanks very much for a chance to make a few comments.
Thank you very much. So next time you visit Bangladesh, please let us know. We can look after you and we can give you better suggestion, because we are also in this trade for a long time. I'm in this trade nearly 50 years now, over.
And we're both about maybe the same age. This is my 60th year in tourism. So, and the gray hair, the little bit of hair I have left is gray.
Yes, yeah. So we'll be expecting you, and we want that you do something for Bangladesh. It has got a lot of prospect, as Mr. Kadir has already briefed,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
No,
Great.
Thank you very much, Donald, for your comments and for joining. It's late. Are you in Washington now, or?
Yeah, I'm in Washington. Yeah, it's middle of the night.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm a late owl anyway, so it's okay.
Thank you very much.
We have a gentleman raising his hand, and we give you the floor in just a minute. I just wanted to know, we had Nishant Patel, I believe. You raised your hand, and I understand you're from your IETO. What's the director for the Indian? I don't know what it stands for, but you still have a question because you lowered your hand again. So I'm not sure. If you do, just go ahead.
Hello, everybody. This is Nishant Patel from Indian Economic Trade Organization, which basically facilitates trade between India and other countries. Yes, I did raise my hand, but then I thought there were a lot of other questions which I think required priority. My question was more related to tourism attractions that Bangladesh is working to attract from Indian market. We already have a good trade which happens between both the countries. However, tourism is something that I was kind of startled to hear things that you have with, the Long Beach that was spoken about, Buddhist tourism, heritage sites that we have. So, and also adventure. So, yeah, my question was to the Bangladesh dignitaries on what initiatives are taken by Bangladesh tourism to invite Indian travelers.
You will be surprised to hear that, every day from Bangladesh, over 10 to 15,000 people are visiting India. So you can calculate that how much in a year or how much in a month. And all the time we are offering to the Indians, especially because there are about 10 to 15 flights are there from Dhaka to Calcutta to Bombay or to Delhi. So the Indians are open, our embassy is always open, and I will ask Mr. Kadir to add on this.
Thank you.
Mr. Kadir, please add on this.
Thank you very much. There's a very good relationship between India and Bangladesh, which is never been before. What is happening at this moment? We are very much cordially waiting for the borders to open fully, because due to the COVID and the Omicron, the borders are not fully open yet. But we expect and that there shall be more travelers in between both the countries, because from Bangladesh into India, every year it is a huge number. I think this is the largest number of tourists going into India is from Bangladesh for different reasons, for tourism, for education, for health sectors, all this health tourism. And then simultaneously, we are also reciprocally, we are also waiting for the Indians also to come into Bangladesh and explore. It's definite that the number of Bangladeshis traveling to India and the number of Indians traveling to Bangladesh, there's a big gap in it. And we should try our best to fulfill it through promoting Bangladesh into more into the Indian market.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Carry on, yeah.
No, thank you very much, Nishant. We have Professor, and maybe I pronounced this wrong, Wasiul Islam joining us, and you raised your hand. The floor is yours, Professor.
Okay, thank you very much, Jargon, for giving me the floor. So nice to see many of you. Sorry to join the meeting lately due to my another engagement. So thank you very much, Donald Hawkins. That was fascinating from your speech that Solomon International is working in Bangladesh. Fortunately, I was lucky to interact with Mr. Chris in this trip because I'm from Khulna University, very close to the Sundarbans. So I was actually here with them for 3 days in the Sundarbans to talk with the local people and different stakeholders. So really looking for the Beka project, Bangladesh Ecotourism and Conservation Alliance. So and hopefully they will visit 2 months back. I mean, after 2 months in April. So hopefully we will collaborate more at that time. So another thing is exactly that Bangladesh has a lot of potentials in different aspects of tourism, different types of tourism, particularly for nature-based tourism, archaeological tourism, religious tourism, rural and pro-port tourism, particularly even the new opportunity, coastal and maritime tourism, and so on. But we have somehow in lack with the marketing of tourism. That's why I think the WTN can be a good platform to to promote different types of tourism products and services all through the world. And I think the WTN Bangladesh chapter will be vibrant enough, effective enough to capitalize the benefit of the WTN platform. So I will urge the Secretariat of WTN Bangladesh so that the academia people, because we are from academia, we are not directly in the industry, but we are doing some research. We are offering different academic courses for the students who will be engaged in industry tomorrow. So there should be a good linkage between industry and academia that I already told Mr. Ghulam Qadir to point out this issue while I was talking with him privately, personally. But I just want to urge once more to take care about this issue so that both the researcher, academia, industry can work together where WTN can cooperate us. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We will be in touch with you as Mr. Kadir is already in touch with you. So we will all get in. Let's see what can be done together. Thank you again. Yeah.
Thank you. You made a really important point, Professor. Thank you for that. And yes, absolutely. Maybe I don't know if Professor Snesana in Serbia wants to add something. She runs our educational interest group. Professor, if you do, just speak up and I'll give you the floor for a minute here.
Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone from Serbia. It's early here. I was really delighted to join this session because we could hear that Bangladesh have so many attractions, natural and cultural attractions, but you have to promote them and to market them. And I think that World Travel Network is the right place to do that. And very important is, as my previous colleague said, education for the people who are going to work, who are working nowadays in tourism and who are going to work tomorrow, because as we can see, this COVID pandemic changed a lot of things in tourism. Nowadays, every country has predominantly domestic tourism, but very soon it is going to be again international tourism. And because of that, it is very important to have a good education and the good trainings in the different parts of Bangladesh. Because different parts of Bangladesh, you have a different type of tourism, specific forms of tourism. So education has to be made to measure for the different destination in Bangladesh. And the World Travel Network is thinking that it is the most important that you prepare with us special education trainings, for example, for events, for rural tourism, for village tourism, for cultural tourism, ecotourism, and so on and so on. So I think that this session is very important because we can hear a lot of things about Bangladesh, not everything, because Bangladesh is a treasure for tourism, and I hope that you will give us as a tourist to explore all areas of your country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your deliberation. We really appreciate, and you are most welcome to visit us, Bangladesh, and we'll take care of you. Anything else?
Thank you very much. I will be pleased to come and visit you. Thank you.
No problem. You are most welcome. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Snesana. I used to call her, because I had such a problem with her name, Professor Snow White, but I'm learning now, right?
Yes, thank you very much, Snow White.
All right. Okay, We had Lucky, and I probably pronounced the last name Shetri, joining us. I think you're from Nepal, right? I'm not sure. Where.
Right, right.
Yes, yes. How are you?
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. I'm from Nepal, and I'm very happy to hear about Bangladesh because you have also some cultural heritage sites and these many things you have been told earlier. And I'm really fascinated for that because I have been to Bangladesh once and I have been experience of only Dhaka, and it was quite a different feeling because I didn't see much tourist over there. But you don't have to forget that Grameen Bank and all the like what is called garment factories are also your most important things to visit there, because if you could make the tour for that areas, even people they will be interested to visit there. And for that I'm from Nepal and I'm working for the women empowerment through tourism, and it's been almost 30 years we are working on this area. When we initiated in Nepal, it was like a kind of fairy tales to work in tourism by women, because culturally it was kind of forbidden. Like I think Bangladesh is also something like that country. So it would be really good if we can work to empower women through tourism with the skill and knowledge they needed. It's not something that we are pushing them to go on there, but there are so many women. And also I have been seeing on this list there are some women, they are writing some comments on there. So I think there are so many women, they are working behind the scene, but we have to bring them into in front, and they can also work and they can also empower themselves. And also that will be a great a treasure for the country, that they can see the women they are empowering through tourism, and many people will love to support and to come and visit to your country as well. So this is also one thing that I would like to suggest you to work on, gender equality or women empowerment as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll ask Mr. Kadir add on this, please. Mr. Kadir.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Chetri. It's very interesting to hear from you. It is very true that we also feel that in world we see that the women working in tourism, the number is like 50, more than 50% in Africa, and in Europe less than 50%, and in our part it is not even 5%. So that is, I believe that that is definitely a very, very important aspect where we should put our attention, that we should develop women folks to be into this industry. We should do a special training for them. Now there are some into the airlines, into the banks, a little bit into the tour operation, but the number is very slick. So we have to work out in a serious way so that the number of women working in tourism industry should grow in Bangladesh. Though people think that Bangladesh is a Muslim country, there are a lot of restrictions. It is not. It is a liberal Muslim country. So women are working everywhere. Like as you have mentioned, like previously women felt shy to work in hotels. They thought that it is a bad place to work. But today my daughter is even working in hotel, and we feel proud that she is working in hotel. So similarly, we have to raise the nation. We have to make women understand that this industry is very much friendly to them. So we and get more women into this industry. That is also our intention, and I believe your support will help us to do some action on it in Bangladesh. Thank you very much.
I will be very happy to join on that if you need it. Something like that.
Definitely we need it. You just get in touch with us and definitely we'll cooperate. There are many women, they are interested to be empowered. And already there are women chamber in Bangladesh. There is already a lot of women's associations are there. Women are really on the forefront. Our prime minister is a woman. Our leader of opposition is also a woman, you know, so no problem about women. Thank you, ma'am.
No, and I think, and that's the same for World Tourism Network. I know in Africa, we supported a fairly big initiative with this. You know, I would really invite you, if you like, maybe we can start a interest group for empowering women on a global basis. I'm sure there are already a few of our members interested in being part of it. So if you're interested, maybe I can contact you privately. Also, maybe it's something we could put together.
Yeah, we can work together, no problem.
Okay, wonderful. We have another hand, but no camera, so I cannot put her on the spotlight, but there's Sonia Kirpilani, but maybe you can unmute yourself if you don't have a camera.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jurgen. I think I'm going to follow up on Miss Lucky's suggestion. What she was speaking about was social impact tourism, and yes, with women. But there is a new format of tourism that has been done and has been very successfully done recently in India. And as well as now we're doing it in Indonesia. It is called social impact tourism, where NGOs and CSRs who have huge budgets bring in their stakeholders. No more do NGOs and CSRs want to spend their monies on parties or gala events. They want to take their guests to the regions that they support. So for example, we have an NGO which is based out of America, which needed to come to Bengal, West Bengal, for seeing the people that they have been investing in. Now, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 trips. This company that is doing these NGO trips, and there are 30 such companies in America, and about 50 in the UK, they do about 1,200 big group trips every quarterly. So you're talking about a huge high value tourism and high value luxury, low impact tourism that is going to people. So we have been conducting these virtually for them, and we're helping them get on-ground partners with women entrepreneurs who are now doing it. So for example, like Ms. Lucky said, though I personally visited the belt of garment workers, but I've also seen the weaving villages. I've also, Bibi Russell is a very dear friend of mine. And so people like that who've shown me a different part of Bangladesh. This is the kind of social impact tourism that will go there. So to the little villages, the turmeric villages, the villages that are in Sundarbans, that is where this tourism is going. So one, you need a new attitude and a new approach to them. So only your tourism operators have to understand the format. There's a very clear format that they offer. I will actually send a link. I think Professor Ji, aapne pucha. So I will send it to you, Professor, how that tourism is conducted, how these big tour companies globally want to be reached out to, and how they have successfully supported it. So they don't only just come and do the trip, they also power it by giving huge grants. So for example, in Grameen Bank, they would love to see how Grameen Bank operates and then give a direct, connect between donees and people who receive it. So I'd love to sit and explain this, but I think Lucky Chetriji picked up on the right thread, and bravo to you who've been doing it for 30 years. Salute. We've only learned about it recently, but the amount of money that's going there is far nothing. Just now, we're just sending about 30 trips to Indonesia, to where people or NGOs who are in the wildlife protection area want to go. So I'm sure there's a lot that can be done with Bangladesh also. Additionally, I think there are new routes needed. We see the same routes, but post-COVID travel, I'm based out of Dubai. Even in Dubai, we're hawking things like nature reserves, mangrove reserves. People want new products, new experiences, and a new different kind of approach to tourism. Thank you very much, Jurgen, for unmuting me and giving me this space. Thank you, WTN.
Thank you, ma'am. We need your support, and I hope there are a lot of small villages and a Grameen Bank. We can always support you, and you first let us know what can be done and how we can be connected with you, ma'am.
Sure. I think Badar Saab gave me his email. I will connect it. Another request I have, please study the Murshidabad success model. We've just played it out for TED Murshidabad was a place, Jurgen, please indulge in me for 2 seconds more. Murshidabad was a place in West Bengal, which is just a swim away from Bangladesh. Now, Murshidabad had died. The tourism there had died. I will send you the recording of how they revived it because we just hosted them for the Rise World Summit. And they told us how they revived tourism. Today, they have, in less than 4 or 5 years, Murshidabad has become the most visited place by some of the richest Indians and the richest global tourists globally because of how they used festival forums and a change in attitude during post-COVID to create tourism. So I'll definitely send you the Murshidabad model details and also social impact tourism, what it is and how we can reach out for Bangladesh also. Thank you very much for this space.
Thank you. Thank you. So Mr. Kadir, you please follow up.
Sure, I will do that. Madam, thank you very much for your message across what you have said. We are also looking toward such tourism because I believe those are the things which we should put attention at. And as I have sent you already my email address, I'll be waiting for your mail and we should build some sort of initiative as you are doing in Murshidabad and other parts of India and other places in Indonesia. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you.
I highly recommend Lucky G's experience. Lucky G, I need to connect with you. Please put in your email.
I will.
Thank you very much, Sonia. Also, I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce our chapter president for Indonesia. She's with us here. It's Moody Astudi. And Moody and I, we know each other for probably longer than we both want to admit, 23 years. Welcome. Just give us a few words for how's Indonesia these days. You have to unmute yourself, though. Please.
Unmute, madam, please unmute. Yes,
Yeah,
right.
okay. Thank you, Thomas, for the introduction to take me here. Yeah, I'm based in Jakarta. So Indonesia started open the borders actually for Jakarta and Bali. Sorry, Bali is going to be in March. And Omicron is quite high here in Jakarta, not in Bali. They are kept 0 case this time. But Jakarta and Bandung, the other city of, I mean, it's like 2 hours from Jakarta, is quite heavy on Omicron. So that's the condition and cancellation, of course, to the hotels, and it's slightly going down again. But I hope in the quarter after this February, it's picking up again. Thank you so much, Thomas. I'm happy to be here and learning from how Bangladesh handling all these things with tourism. All the best.
Thanks, Moody, for attending. And if there's any more questions, please do raise your hand. We're a little bit over time already, but it doesn't mean we couldn't take another question. I wanted to give everyone the opportunity if there is. And if there are no questions, I would probably throw it back to
No, before we close, I will ask Mr. Kabir to say something before the closing. Mr. Kabir.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Mr. Hakim Ali, and the other leaders, and the travel leaders in the globe. So it is a very fruitful and productive discussion, and we just encountered the different tourism guru and expertise all around the world. So it is a good networking. This meeting is also that it is proven that we are already in the network. So it is a great opportunity for us to keep in touch with the different leader in the different countries, and from the experience, what is just doing in the WTN in the different countries, we can learn from them. And already just USAID has a project. They have a project in Bangladesh. So we will try to just we'll try to capture all facilities and opportunities. What is really just happening in Bangladesh, and doing the job from the government sector, of course, the private sector. So we'll sit together again from the Bangladesh WTN chapter. Now that the leadership, Mr. President Hakim Ali and our dear colleagues and friends will get back to WTN, the leadership again, and we will just do our homework first, and then we'll seek for this sort of meeting. Thank you very much from my side, and it's my great honor and pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You carry on, Mr. Sugan.
Thank you very much for your comments and for your participation. And before I give Hakim and maybe Mr. Kadir the last word, I just wanted to remind everybody, if you've watched us live and you missed the first part of it, or you just want to watch us again, we'll be repeating this on eTober News like every other hour for the next 24 hours or so. But you can also go to our YouTube channel or click on archive or past events, both on the WTN website or on eTober News, and you will find us and you can listen to this event and our many other events again. If you wanted to get involved, this is all what World Tourism Network is all about. Just click on our contact form, contact us. We'll definitely get back to you. We want you to be part of everything we're doing, and we welcome your input, idea. Our organization is only as good as you are. And I wanted to remind lastly, again, our next event is on Friday. What will be also very interesting, we're going to be talking about Ukraine and tourism during the most impossible times. So we're going to have some of the top leaders of the travel and tourism industry in Kiev joining us. And that will be listed also on worldtourismevents.com. You can sign up from there. It'll be at 8 in the morning Hawaii time, or 1 p.m. Eastern time in New York, or at 6 p.m. in London, 7 p.m. in Europe. And we go on 8 p.m. in Eastern Europe or Kenya, and 10 o'clock, I think, or 9 o'clock in Dubai. You see all the different time zones. And again, it's going to be about midnight, unfortunately, in Bangladesh. But we welcome everyone to join us. So I wanted to give my thank you and for Mr. Hakim Ali, our president for our chapter in Bangladesh, for putting this together. And of course, a very special thank you to all the panelists, Mr. Kadir and Mr. Zaman Kabir, for joining us today. And this was very insightful. We learned a lot about Bangladesh, but we want to learn a lot more, and we're here to assist and work with you. We're all in this together worldwide, and we're going to get tourism back on track. Thank you very much. And Hakim, I'll let you close.
Thank you very much. We'll be in touch again. So anything, any assistance, any need from Bangladesh, please get in touch with me. Again, I thank you and all the panelists and all these participants. Thanks from Bangladesh. Visit Bangladesh. Thank you.
Thank you, guys, and aloha from Hawaii.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.